Namaste and greetings. I, Abhi Sharma, researcher at IMPRI, Impact and Policy Research Institute, Prabhav Evam Niti Anusandhan Sansthan, Nayi Delhi, extend my warmest welcome to you all to IMPRI Web Policy Learning. Today we are gathered here for day 9 of UPLGYF, Urban Policy and Local Governance Youth Fellowship, an online national autumn and winter school program, a 4-month online immersive introductory leadership certificate training fellowship, organized by IMPRI Center for Habitat, Urban and Regional Studies, IMPRI Impact and Policy Research Institute, New Delhi. The chair for the program is Professor Manjula Bharathy, Professor, Center for Urban Policy and Governance, School of Habitat Studies, and Professor, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai, Visiting Professor, IMPRI. The conveners for this course are Dr. Soumyadeep Chattopadhyay ji, Mr. Tikendra Singh Pawar ji, Mr. Sameer Unhale ji, Mr. Arvind Unni ji, Dr. Simi Mehta ji, and Dr. Arjun Kumar ji. We have also shared the course outline and reading resources document in your email. For your kind attention, we will be providing videos of each session for flexible learning at your place and convenience of time. Before we start today's session, I would like to announce the housekeeping rules. It is encouraged that you join the meeting on time. There will be a Q&A session after each presentation. Share your questions in the Q&A box and not in the chat box. The questions must not be posted as anonymous attendee. Ensure that your questions are precise. Refrain from making general comments in the questions to save the time. Without any further delay, to begin today's session, I would like to hand over to our chair, Professor Manjula Bharti for her remarks about this extensive course.
Manjula ma'am is not here yet, so we can directly go to Sir. Yes.
Sure, ma'am. I'll give the introduction and then Sir can take over. Okay, so I would like to hand over to our speaker for the day, Dr. Ravikant Joshi, Advisor, Urban Management Center, Ahmedabad, and former Chief Accounts Officer, Vadodara Municipal Corporation, visiting Senior Fellow, IMPRI, for his session on municipal finance and local governance. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Over to you.
Thank you. So, good evening to all of you. Today we will be covering one topic, that is municipal finance and local governance in India. So I will try to finish it within 45 minutes or maximum 1 hour. But then then we will take a question and answer session. Okay. So you must be knowing India is a federal country, or it has a federal structure, and Indian Constitution has 3 lists into it. First list is a central list, state list, and the concurrent list. So this list is what? These 3 lists contain all the resources and the functions of the respective government. So the functions which are, or resources which are mentioned, subjects we can call it, in the central list belong to the government of India, and only parliament can do laws about it, and government of India can have activity about it. For example, defense. Now, defense is a central subject, or monetary control, or external affairs. Then there is a state list. So state, it contains all resources, functions, activities, subjects which belong to the state governments. And urban government or urban development and the rural development, or other way we can say urban local bodies, which we are going to look today, they are part of the state subject. So it is the state which has the complete prerogative what to do with the urban local bodies, what to do about urban affairs or urban aspect. And then there is a concurrent list in which there are subjects or the activities, functions for which law can be made by both the state government and central government in collaboration with each other or in consultation with each other. Then you must have studied, or somebody must have already in the course explained you, that 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment, which belongs, 73rd is about rural local governments and 74th about the urban local governments, correct? That has that has created a three-tier structure. So we have central government, we have state governments, and we have local governments. And in local government, in urban local government, there are three types. Bigger cities have municipal corporations, small, medium cities have municipal councils, and there are small cities which are emerging from the rural to the urban. They are called Nagar Panchayat. So that is the third level of local government. So three local government and village panchayat is the rural local government. So as we move forward, these are the roles which local government are expected to play. One, it's a regulator, it's a government. So it's a regulator. So various administration of the various acts, for example, Food Adulteration Act, or we can say epidemic control, various acts, or regularizing the animals. All these powers are with the local governments through the respective acts, correct? So it's a regulator, like central government, state government, it's a one part, it's regulator, it is provider. It provides various services, urban services to the people, citizens. It could be water supply, it could be drainage, it could be water, roads, footpath, crematoriums, immunization, various. So it's a provider of the service. And third aspect of its function is it's an agent, means it acts for the central government and state government. For example, TB control program, it's a government of India's program, but implemented at a local government level. So local government acts as an agent of the central government. Or primary education. Now, education is a state subject, correct? And primary education is a state subject. Central government doesn't decide anything. But primary education schools, or in some places even the secondary education schools, are run by the local government. So it acts as a agent of the higher level government. So it promotes the popular participation. It is also a welfare agency. It carries out various welfare activities and development activities. This is the structure. We have a Constitution of India. In that government of India, then there are various state governments. And then as per 74th and 73rd Constitutional Amendment, three types of urban local governments and three types of rural local governments. So government of India doesn't have direct control over these local governments because, as I said, local governments are part of the state list. So they are under the state subject. They are state subject under the state government's authority. So various state governments or state government actually decides what should be the area of the local government, what should be the resources of the local government, what should be the functions of the local government. As a result, you will find in some states of India, water supply is with the urban local government, while in some state, urban water supply and sewerage is not a function with the local government. But if you'll see across the India, solid waste management is a function across all the states with the local government. Similarly, crematoriums, burial places, these are the various functions, parks and gardens, correct, playgrounds, community halls, slum upgradation. These are the certain functions which you will see across all the states are with the local government. But who decides it? It is the state government which decide. Then what is the role of a government of India? It provides guidance. It provides financial assistance. Through the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, we have a main ministry in the central government which provides guidance, which provides various kinds of financial assistance. Similarly, there is a Ministry of Rural Development, which provides guidance for the rural local government. Municipal laws based classification, there is no specific classification, but generally, as I said, bigger cities have municipal corporations, correct? Census and municipal law classification is different. Census has a definition which says that any area or any locality which is having more than 5,000 people, more than 75% of the people are engaged in non-agriculture activity, and the area which has density of more than 100, per hectare or per acre. So if these three conditions met, then census of India, when they do the census, they call it as a census town. But municipal law is different. Municipal law, it is a prerogative of the state government to declare a census town into a statutory town, municipal statutory town under the Municipal Act. So census town can be under the village panchayat so long as it is not converted into municipal body. Usually cities above 3 lakhs population are having municipal corporation. Most of the states have two different acts, one for the municipal corporations because those are bigger cities, they have more powers, more financial resources. Then there is an act for the municipalities or municipal councils. Municipal councils, within them, again, there are 4 categories. As I said, this is not a perfect one. Every law has a different, some laws mention it, some laws do not mention this population criteria. But usually 1 to 3 lakh population cities are called A grade municipality. Then rest are called B grade for 50,000 to 1 lakh, C grade municipality 25 to 50,000 population, and D grade municipality is, or class 4 municipality is 10,000 to 25,000. And as I earlier said, a census town, if a state government want to convert it into, now there can be a census town of 1 lakh population also. There are certain census towns which has not been converted to the municipal status and they are under the village panchayat. But usually then Nagar Panchayat would be a transition kind of a municipality, changing from rural to urban character of 5,000 to 10,000 population. When we come to the state level, this is the structure, similar, but in state level, there are other departments and usually there is a urban development and housing department, but again, name changes from state to state. Some states call it local government institution department. Some states call it municipal administration department. So there are different, the name doesn't matter. There will be always one main department which will be looking after all the local governments, urban local governments. Similarly, there will be a department looking after the rural local government. And then there are other departments like Department of Education, Department of Industry, Department of Water Supply, Department of Town Planning, Department of PWD. Various departments, they don't directly control municipal bodies, but they do provide help, correct? So if you will go, take for example, Maharashtra has a 4 departments. Urban is divided into 4. So there is an urban development department and municipal administration, one department. Then there is an urban housing department. Then there is an urban water supply department, correct? So these 3 departments directly provide grant also, provide guidance also, provide and control also the municipal bodies, correct? It differs from state to state. So it will be, I would advise you for understanding detail, take any state and visit its website and try to find out which department, what is the name of it, controls the local government, urban local governments, and which are the other departments which provide it grants and which falls under the, because municipal bodies, as I said, there is a family planning. So Department of Health also provides the guidance, correct? And then there are different parastatals along with the urban local governments. At urban local body level, you will find different parastatals, means the agencies or authorities created by the state government to deliver different services. For example, in Mumbai, urban transport, city transport is with the Mumbai Municipal Corporation. Or you go to Ahmedabad, Thane, Pune, many cities you will find city transport is with the municipal body. But there are many states, say if you will take Bangalore, in Bangalore, urban transport is not with the Bangalore Municipal Corporation. There is a different organization. It is under the Karnataka State Urban Transport Authority, correct? Similarly, in Andhra also. So water supply is not there with the Bangalore Municipal Corporation or Delhi Municipal Corporation or Calcutta. Sorry, not Calcutta, but Chennai and the Hyderabad. There you will find Bangalore Water Supply Sewerage Board, Hyderabad Metro Water, Chennai metro water, or Delhi water supply, correct? So there are different parastatals authorities created which deliver urban service. So when we talk of a urban governance at a city level, main is a urban local government, but there are other organizations created by the state only which deliver different urban services. There are slum clearance board, SRA, correct? In Maharashtra, there is a slum rehabilitation board or authorities, rehabilitation authority is there. Then there are housing board also, development authority which takes care of the urban planning of the city, correct? So you must have heard name, or you should look into it, is that say Ahmedabad Urban Development Authority, correct? Or Chennai Metropolitan, CMDA, Chennai Metropolitan Development Authority, Mumbai Metropolitan MMRDA is there, Mumbai Metropolitan and Regional Development Authority, or Delhi Development Authority, Jaipur Development Authority, Lucknow Development Authority. So these development authorities, some places also carry out the development work of constructing the road or developing the new areas with the urban services. Later on, that is handed over to the municipal bodies. Or in other places, say Ahmedabad, Pune, Mumbai, or mainly Gujarat and Maharashtra state cities or urban local bodies in these two states, they even do the development within their city, correct? While many places, new area development is done by the urban development authority, but urban planning is done by the such urban development authority. So take any city and you will find a urban local government, that is we call municipal corporation or municipality or this. There will be urban development authority responsible for planning, city planning or urban planning, what we call. And third, there may be certain parastatals or authorities delivering a specific urban service. So that makes our urban governance structure. If we go at a municipal body, this is a typical organization chart or organogram. A municipal government will have a policy making body, means where the municipal council is there, where elected municipal councillors sit and take the decision. It will be headed by the mayor. At a municipality level, it is called president, correct? Or and then there can standing committee, which is headed by the chairman. And on executive side, it will be headed, if it is a municipal corporation, it is called as a municipal commissioner. The executive head is called municipal commissioner, who usually comes from the state service or from the your national IS cadre, depending upon the size of a city. When it is a municipality or smaller, that person is called chief officer or executive officer. Also, if you look at Kerala, then they don't call it a municipal commissioner, they call municipal secretary or secretary, who is the head, executive head. But here I am showing in graph municipal secretary, he is like a parliament secretary who conducts the council meetings and different committee meetings, correct? Some states have a separate chief auditor function, particularly Gujarat and Maharashtra Act have a institution of chief auditor, and this chief auditor is not directly under the municipal commissioner, but works under the council or the corporation, correct? So he is an independent of a municipal commissioner. Most of the places, it is the local audit department, LFA, correct? Local fund audit or LFA, local fund audit, that is the name of the department of the state government. Those auditors from the state government, they come and audit the activities of the municipal bodies. Their accounts are audited by some. Now our municipal bodies have moved to the double entry accounting system. So many places now it is the chartered accountants, external auditors audit their balance sheet, correct? So this is all urban governance structure. Within the municipal corporation, there will be municipal commissioner will be followed by the deputy municipal commissioner, assistant municipal commissioner, and various administrative officer, account officer. There will be executive engineer, deputy executive engineer, health officer, town planner, transport manager. As I said, wherever there is a city transport with the municipal body, there will be transport manager. Then cities are divided into zones. So Deputy Municipal Commissioner can be function-wise, say finance function, administration function, revenue function, or there will be Deputy Municipal Commissioner for East Zone, West Zone, North Zone. So that this is the basic structure. Let's come what Constitution says. 74th Constitution Amendment added a 12th schedule. It says there will be 18 functions which urban local bodies are supposed to do. But the authority belongs to the state government. Whether which function to give to the municipal body or not, is that authority is with the state government. And therefore, as I earlier said, in different states, you will find different functions with the municipal bodies. For example, fire service. Now, fire service is function with the municipal bodies in Gujarat, in municipal corporation. But in Punjab, fire service is with the state department. So there is an entire state department which has a city offices, and in the city they manage fire service. So it is up to state government, but Constitution has now a 12th schedule which leaves these 18 functions. You this PPT will be with you, so you later on. But day to day, you will find if you look at this that our 90% of the life or 90% of our services are provided by the local government, and that is the importance of a local government and local governance, because our day-to-day life depends on the services provided by the local government. Let's come to the finance side. Up till now, we looked at the urban governance structure. Of course, later on, when you will have questions, we will detail it out if you have any questions or any point not clear. So this way, these are the municipal resources, correct? We call some conventional or traditional and some non-conventional. What are the conventional? Internal or own revenue, means Municipal Act provides authority to the municipal bodies to tax for certain things, also to have various fees, rent, interest, all that, that is called non-tax. And they can lease out their assets, they can sell out their various assets, they can do the sale of investment also they can do, or they get certain kind of a capital receipt. For example, sale of a when you take a water connection, you have to give a one-time connection fee. Now, what is that connection fee? It's a capital receipt for the municipal bodies, and that is collected because a capital investment has been done by the local authority, laying the water supply line and all that. So when anybody takes a new connection, water connection or sewage connection, they are charged that one-time fee, and then there will be as per the whatever is the water charge, which is annual, because you use the water given to it. Same about the solid waste. There can be solid waste collection charge. The main tax with the municipal body is the property tax. That is the main source of their revenue. And property tax is levied on whatever property you own, building or the vacant land. So land and building which you own within the city limit, municipal body charges you the property tax. There are external sources. Municipal bodies can take government loans. There can be, and there comes the government grants from the even central government and state government. So this is earlier what used to be talked about, correct? But now market has come or new things have come. So municipal bodies can go and take the commercial loans from commercial banks or from municipal bonds, you must have heard. So they can go to the capital market, raise the municipal bond. They can even raise the equity also. Nobody has done, but they can raise the equity. They can create a company. Municipal bodies can create a company, and in that they can ask people to take the shares. Pricing mechanism means it's not always a charge, but they can price certain things as per the market rate, correct? Certain commercial infrastructure they have created. Suppose they have created a beautiful international quality convention center. There is nothing wrong, because that will be high-end luxury convention center, and it should charge the way any private person would charge. That is the pricing mechanism. User charge, which come under the non-tax, for example, charging for water supply, charging for sewerage service, charging for solid waste service. or charging for street light, charging for charging for entry into garden, charging for entry into some community hall or museum, library. Here, government doesn't go by market way of pricing because subsidies to be given, and these rates are subsidized so that even poor can afford, and it should be accessible to all. So there is a difference between the user charge and pricing mechanism. Pricing mechanism is what in the market private player do. We want certain thing, there is a price for that thing, correct? And it depends on a demand and supply. So if demand is more, he may increase the price. If demand is low, he will reduce the price. But municipal bodies also can do that for their commercial activities. Municipal bodies can now enter into public-private partnership. They can use their land as a resource to develop, and finally they can participate, or they can collaborate with the people, NGOs, civil societies, for maintaining various their infrastructure. That is called P4, public-private people partnership, correct? Where they work with the people, civil societies. For example, in Delhi, there is a Bhagidari scheme where cities, where registered societies take care of their garbage collection and cleaning of their society, internal roads and maintaining internal roads. And then Delhi government gives them 50%, or Delhi Municipal Corporation gives them the 50% cost of that share. But here means partnerships. So such kind of a partnership is called a social partnership. This is as per our constitution. As I said, all these items are of the state list. So constitution doesn't provide any financial resources to the municipal body directly. It is the state through passing of a municipal act, which is called Municipal Corporation Act and Municipality Act, or some states have only single act covering municipal corporation and municipality. So these land and building, octroi or tolls or property tax, all these belong to state government, but state government through its act passed by the Legislative Council gives these resources to the municipal bodies to raise. So the way I earlier explained you functions, which function to be given to the local government is a state government authority. Similarly, and those functions also belong to the state only. Though in 12 schedule, those 18 functions are mentioned, but those functions actually belong to the state. State has delegated them. Similarly, these are the resources which state government delegates or gives municipal bodies for raising. But it can take it away anytime. For example, some 10 years back, Gujarat and Maharashtra removed the octroi. So there was an octroi which was levied on the entry of the goods into the city by the municipal bodies. And that tax was across the India in British time. Then slowly and gradually after independence, one after another states have abolished that. Abolished that means that tax has been cancelled. And then it was cancelled in Gujarat and Maharashtra, because it belongs to the state government. It had given through act to the local government. So that is the urban governance structure and financial structure you have to understand, keep in mind. This shows what kind of tax resources, but as I said, in India, property tax is the main tax. Some states have given professional tax to the municipal bodies. For example, Gujarat has given professional tax. In Tamil Nadu, professional tax is with the municipal bodies. In Madhya Pradesh also there is a professional tax given to the local bodies. Local income tax does not exist in India, but it exists in a developed country. Say in USA, municipal bodies can have their local income tax. Tax on animals was there, but now it has been abolished. Earlier there used to be tax on the bullocks and everything, because some 100 years back, 200 years back, those were the main sources of your property or one kind of a wealth. Even I have seen tax on a bullock cart, hand cart, correct? So when I was in Baroda Municipal Corporation, we had that tax, and we only when I was chief account officer, we submitted a proposal to the state government to cancel those. Correct. Even there was a tax on cycle at one time, so that comes on a tax on vehicles. But today there is a tax on all motorized vehicle. Main tax goes to the RTO when you purchase any vehicle. But then at the same time, there is a local tax collected by the RTO and given to the municipal bodies. Lifetime tax on vehicle. Municipal bodies can levy special benefit tax. Maharashtra municipal bodies have special water benefit tax, special sewage benefit tax. In developed countries, there is a local sales tax also, or excise you call. Correct. Now we call it GST. Then there is an advertisement. All the advertisement can be charged. After GST, advertisement tax has gone, but you can introduce hoarding charge or something, that kind of a thing. And many states have done that. Nowadays, municipal bodies charge tax on a big hoardings. You need to take a permission and you need to pay the fee. Earlier, there used to be entertainment tax, theater tax. Those have gone after GST has come, but those were the very small taxes. Correct. Not much revenue would be coming. Of course, entertainment tax had a lot of revenue because it was collected when we purchase any movie ticket or any program ticket, and used to be almost 100%. You may not be remembering, but if you would have purchased any movie ticket of 100 rupees, then 50 rupees used to be the entertainment tax, but that has now got replaced by the GST. Correct. So now there is a GST. If you go to see any movie on a movie ticket, there is a GST. But unfortunately, that entertainment tax earlier, lot of share municipal bodies were getting of it. But now, after coming GST, that entertainment tax has gone, and entertainment tax grant has also gone up from the municipal bodies. Then, as I said, whatever service municipal body is providing, it can charge. That is a user charge. Correct. It can take market fee. It can take water supply charge. It can take sewage charge. It can take entry to parks and garden. All those kind of charges it can take. It can earn rents. It can earn investments it has done. It can have profits in certain activities. Then there are various licenses, say plumber license, architect license. So you need to take various licenses. Now licenses are not to earn the money, but basically to regularize that thing. Correct? That's a certification. So there is also trade license you have to take. You must have gone in any shop and you will find a frame in which he shows he has paid the business tax, or he has a trade license to run the restaurant. Or so that money comes to the municipality. It can fine when activity is not done. There can be parking fine. There can, of course, parking fine goes to the traffic police, but various other fines. If you do litter, then it can charge. Correct. Some municipal bodies have introduced spitting. If you do the spitting on a road, there will be a fine. So, well, that is all non-tax resources. Correct. Then it receives the grant, different type of grants, formula-based grants, non-formula-based grant. Untied grant means the grants which municipal bodies can use for any purpose. Tied grants means, say, smart city mission grant, or grant given for specific capital development or specific capital project, that is called tied grant. There can be special purpose grant. For example, recently Central Finance Commission has given pollution control grant to the big cities. Correct. Formula based means on a certain percentage you get. So different types of grant exist. We will see later on. And there can be loans. Of course, central government now doesn't give loan, but state government can give the loan. Other government agencies do provide loan. Say Gujarat Municipal Finance Board has been created, or various government financial agencies can provide loan. Then there are development institutions like HUDCO, correct? And finally, states create municipal development funds. So various government loans can come. So this is the typology, as I earlier explained about the grant. A grant can be for general purpose. It can be for specific purpose. For example, there is a family planning grant. So a municipal body get for doing the family planning operations and Also, there comes a grant for providing nutritious food to the child. There comes grant for providing antenatal and prenatal, antenatal and postnatal care to the women. So various kinds of specific grant come. One come for the immunization, TB control, polio control. Earlier grant was there, polio plus grant. You must have looked at that whole advertisement and all that. So to eradicate the polio. Revenue grants are those which are given against the when the OCTRA is taken, then that grant is given is a revenue grant. But technically, in account terms, revenue grant is an untied grant. It is given to provide assistance to pay to take care of their revenue expenditure like salary, operation maintenance, and all that. Because if you haven't provided adequate financial resources, then there will be deficit. And we will be seeing later on, in fact, 50% of the revenue expenditure is funded by the revenue grant. Means state governments provide revenue grant and own source revenue of municipal bodies constitute only 50%. This is, I am saying, only day-to-day expenditure, means salaries, operational maintenance, consumables, interest interest to be paid on a loan. That is called revenue expenditure, or in corporate world, in accounting world, it will be called operating expenditure, a day-to-day expenditure to run the municipal body. And then there are capital grants, which are given for carrying out capital works or development. So this is grant, and this can be graphically represented like that. There can be revenue grant, capital grant, tied, as I said. Tied grant, municipal bodies has to use for that purpose only. That money cannot be utilized for any other purpose. Now, tied grant can be revenue. For example, tied grant can be for family planning. Then it has to be utilized for family planning. But tied grant can be for creation of a hospital, family planning hospital, constructing the building. So that will be a capital grant. While grant for doing the family planning operations, cost of operations is a revenue grant because that goes in a revenue account. Similarly, there can be untied grant as a OCTRA compensation grant would be a revenue grant. There can be a untied capital grant, correct, which is for given and municipal bodies are free to spend. Sometimes grants have to have a matching share. For example, under smart city mission, cities got grant at a 50%, means central government provided 50%, state government provided 25%, but a city will get that grant if it puts its own 25%. That is called matching grant. And in some cases, there comes a 100% grant, wherein municipal body doesn't have to put in. It's not a condition. So we can say matching grant is a conditional grant. Municipal body has to put in its own money to get that grant. Then I have said formula-based grant and ad hoc grant. Let's come to the alternative part, that is the alternative resources, the new type of resources we saw earlier a little bit. Now, what are they? As I said, loan financing. Municipal bodies can go and take loan for, it can go to the commercial bank and take a loan on a commercial term. Suppose it is constructing doing a commercial project. It is creating an entertainment hub, which will be charged commercially. It can take commercial loan. It doesn't require a subsidized loan. It can go to the infrastructure bank like IDFC or IIFCL or HUDCO. It can go to the state government municipal development fund or specialized intermediate. It can even go to the World Bank. There are municipal bodies which have got the World Bank loan for bigger their infrastructure projects long term. Then I have explained you community participation, working with the social groups for managing assets. For example, these public toilets. Public toilets in many cities are being managed by the committees created of the slum dwellers, or NGOs manage it. One of the public toilet, you know, is the which is run in the different cities, correct? 2-3 agencies are there, Naseeb and other. So they run those public toilets where you pay some small charge, correct, and they manage it. Private sector participation, entire big thing of public-private partnership, wherein there are different forms of public-private partnership. You must have heard build, own and operate, build, own, operate and transfer. It can be franchising, it can be taking lease or giving the lease, contracting. Within the contract, it can be a management contract, operational contract, correct? For example, earlier there used to be security guards in the service of the municipal bodies. Now, or vehicles used to be owned by the municipal body. Now many municipal bodies, you will find vehicles are taken on a contract. So that's a PPP even, correct? It's a contracting out, outsourcing. At the same time, there can be higher order PPP, but that's a entirely big subject. Do understand about it, read about it. Pricing I have explained, and it can go to the capital market. Till date, more than 17 cities, municipal bonds started around 1997 in India, and in last 27 years, more than 3,900 crore has been raised by the municipal bodies. Even this year, Ahmedabad and Vadodara, Ahmedabad raised 200 crore and Vadodara Municipal Corporation has raised 100 crore. And since 2017 onwards, 13 issues has been done by the cities, correct? Last year, Indore raised it. Before that, Hyderabad. So cities have started, of course, not in big number. We have more than 4,800 cities and 500 cities above 1 lakh population. At 125 cities, more than 5 lakh population, and 65 cities, more than 1 million population. So compared to that, only 17 cities have one. Some cities have, Ahmedabad has done municipal bond 6 times. So some cities have done only 1 time. In all, in last 27 years, even urban parastatals have issued municipal bonds like Hyderabad Metro, KUIDFC, they have issued. So in all, 50 issues have happened. Why to go for alternative resources? Why? Because the conventional sources we found, tax resources, user charge, or government loans, there is a limitation to that. So there is an inadequacy, and day by day you are requiring more and more funds for urban infrastructure development. So there is a limitation of conventional sources. So there is a resource gap that need to be bringing. But more importantly, these alternative sources are market based, and market is not going to give you money if they don't find you capable, if they don't find you credit worthy. So most important point is that it brings the financial discipline, it brings the accountability, transparency, and efficiency, and at the same time, it makes you to improve your financial and project management capacity. Then, because when private investment is coming, they are definitely going to be very concerned about their investment, and therefore they will ask for all these things, and that improves the performance of the municipal bodies. So they should go for alternative or non-conventional resources. Let's come now, having understood the structure, urban governance structure and municipal finance structure, let's come to the issues which municipal finances are facing. One, the local taxes in theory also across the world are inferior in nature. In a sense, they are not that flexible, they are not that buoyant. Suppose income tax is productive, buoyant, elastic, but property tax, of course, I don't have much of the time to explain the theory, but in economic terms, it's not buoyant, correct? It's not elastic. You can't charge too much property tax because property tax is based on a wealth, and that is accrued wealth. It is not realized wealth. So if and then person's ability to pay may go down. A person may have a big house of his ancestor, but he is not earning. Now you can legitimately charge him a higher tax, property tax higher, because he has a big house, but his ability to pay is not there. While income tax is based on income of that person, that is the ability to pay. So that is the main theory aspect. Then inadequate, as I said, only now property tax and professional tax, these are the only source, and property tax across the India with municipal bodies, but professional tax is not in all states with the local body. So their productivity is low, they are very limited. Also, various resources have been taken away by the state government because they belong to the state government. They just took it back. Even professional tax has been taken back by the state government. OCTRA has been abolished. Entertainment tax gone. Correct. So various taxes which were earlier, and with the time earlier, many of the taxes gone. See, earlier even there was a tax on the boats, bullock cart, hand cart, camel cart, because at that time those were the means of transport and vehicle. Even animals tax was there. Now that has gone. So various have taxes have gone because of the change of the time period and change of the government attitude. Then, as I said, it is the state government which gives them the power. So not enough autonomy has been given into the local Indian local bodies, correct? With regarding to the decide. So property tax is with the municipal bodies, but in many states, even that decision they require concurrence of the state government, and then you know how political economy works. So not enough taxes has been given worldwide. There are huge taxes, a lot of taxes with the municipal governments. They don't have much of the borrowing powers. Also, 74th Constitutional Amendment created State Finance Commission. Now, the State Finance Commission are required to look into the sharing of the resources between the state government and the local bodies as a way of right, not as a grant. That is called devolution. So whatever resources state government is getting is also because of the function done by the municipal bodies. So across the world, in all countries, higher level governments share the resources with the lower government. Even government of India has to share its resources because of the Central Finance Commission award with the state governments. Because in finance, there is an inverse pyramid. So maximum lion share of the money goes to the national government, then state government, and and less remains at the local government. While functions are more at the local government level, actual functions, service functions, medium at the state level, and less at the central level. So these are the external factors which are more pronounced in India. They exist in other countries also, and they apply to the other countries also. But then other countries have given much more powers, much more. I'm talking of a developed countries, not the developing countries. If you will take any other developing countries, issue will be same like India. Then these are the issues which are internal to the municipal bodies. Means these are the inefficiencies or incapacities of the municipal bodies. So there is a poor administration in terms of respect of taxes and other powers. There are reasons also inadequate staff, not very professionally qualified staff, correct? Then non-augmentation of non-rich tax resources. Our municipal bodies are still playing very conventionally, not going for or competing with the private sector. They can do, Act allows them. But then when you have to compete with the market and you have to provide such kind of services for which you will use the price, then you will have to have the capacity, very professional capacity, quality to be in the market, correct? Then they are not borrowing. There are certain cities which have money, but they are not leveraging. So they will finance their fund, their development only through whatever grants they are getting and whatever grants they are getting or whatever money they have from their tax resources and non-tax resources. Then there is an inefficient management of the municipal resources. So budgeting is not adequate. The financial management is very weak or of a very rudimentary nature. Again, issue of a very qualified people, autonomy, powers, and professional approach. So financial administration, budget making is not very of a high order. In all, because of the many aspects, not it is only because they don't want to do, but because of many aspects, municipal bodies have a lot of internal problems, and that affects their efficiency. Now, in a final component, let's see what is the situation of municipal finance in India, correct, as of today or some years back. So this is based on a 15th Central Finance Commission report, which analyzed data from 2011 to 2018. Of course, after that, very recently, RBI report has come just 15 days back. So get RBI report on municipal finances in India 2024. It's freely downloaded. You can download it and read that. That will give you insight, correct? So the very first thing is that in last 20 years, the total spending on a or share of the municipal finance is just 1% of the GDP. Comparable, even if we take developing countries like Brazil or South Africa, BRICS countries, which are parallel to us or many, they generally spend 6 to 7% or at least 4 to 6%. And higher level developed countries like say USA. Now US economy is so big, number one, but they also spend more than 8% of their GDP on their cities. So we just spent 1%. Now this may have gone up to 1.5%. As per recent data, RBI data shows that municipal corporations, they have studied all 225 municipal corporations, and their expenditure and receipt comes around 1.2% of the GDP. And then if we add all other municipal bodies, then it could be 1.5%, because our more than 75% share is constituted by the municipal corporations. If we look at the total municipal finance in India, then municipal corporations share would be 75%. So if municipal corporations having 1.2% of the GDP, that is what the RBI latest report is saying for 2022-23, then it would be somewhere around 1.5% of the GDP. So it has increased. Investment in urban infrastructure has been stagnant at 6.6 or 0.7% of the GDP. Again, this may have gone little bit up, but that is because we are constructing big way municipal metros and public housing, that is housing for poor. But still the expenditure on basic services is much less, correct? It is just 0.4%. Now it may have gone to 0.6%. In capital budget, I said municipal bodies, because they don't have revenue surplus. As I said, out of 1 rupee of operational expenditure, 50 paisa is the only available with the municipal bodies from their own sources. 50 paisa come from higher level government revenue grant. Then in capital, almost 85% capital expenditure is funded through the capital grants, and municipal bodies' own share is only 15%. Share of municipal own sources had declined from 63% to 43%. Now it may be 0.4%, because RBI has taken data of 225 municipal corporations, which are big and which have more resources, but in their case also 50% is the only their own source revenue. So if we'll add all those 4,600, 700 small cities, then this percentage will be just 40%. So their share is 40% and 60% comes as a grant. And as I said, there are parastatals. So if we'll take the entire urban picture, then municipal body share is 50%, and 50% is provided by these different authorities which has been created, correct? It can be Bangalore's Water Supply Drainage Authority, or it can be a city transport by others, correct? Or urban development authorities, all that. This is the RBI's latest report of 200, not 225, but 232 cities, correct? So from where the money is coming? So their own tax revenue constitutes 42 to 30% now, and their own tax resources, non-tax resources, constitute say 31%. But that is a budgetary. See, look at the 21-22 figure. So it is 25 plus 36. So it comes to the 61% maximum, correct? And 38.6% from the transfers, that is the government grants. But medium average is 50%. From where the own source revenue comes, as I said, tax revenue, this graph shows you, this is the micro graph of that. Fees and user charges constitute 35%, sale and hire charges less than 1%, rental income of municipal properties 2.4%, investment income, that is the fixed deposit and those interest on that, and other incomes, and they also give loans to the employees and all that, but that's a very negligible amount. But other income means various fees, license fees, and parking charges and all that. Correct. So own source revenue constitute 59%. This is for municipal corporations. Average we take. If we take a medium of 232 cities, it is 50%. And if we take all 4,800 municipal corporations, it will be less than 40%. So 60% they are dependent on a higher level government grants for the revenue to do their day-to-day activities. And in capital, they are almost 85% dependent on capital grants. So whatever development at city level is happening gets 85% funded from the higher level grant. This again shows you ratio of revenue expenditure to own source. And you can see revenue expenditure, if all India averages, then 63% of the revenue expenditure is funded by municipal own source revenue. So their own source revenue is 63% of the revenue expenditure they have to carry. But you can see most of the states are much below this line, correct? And therefore I said median is the 50%. It is the Gujarat, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Goa, where there is a much more funding, means own source revenues are much higher compared to their revenue expenditure. Then our entire urbanization is skewed. 4 states or top 10 cities, if you will take, then out of 230 cities, more than 60% is the share of the 10 cities. So even this whatever picture I am showing of 232 cities as per RBI report, recent report, 10 cities only, 10 top cities out of 232 cities constitute 60% share. Similarly, 4 states constitute more than 60% of the total urban investment. So our urbanization is skewed. It is Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. Their municipal bodies raising a lot of money, spending a lot of money, and carrying out urban development. You can see per capita municipal own source revenue in Maharashtra is 5,730, while in other state it is in some 100 rupees. Correct. So these are the issues, and then ULBs are not augmenting, as I earlier said, the way whatever powers they have, they are not fully utilizing it. They are not actualizing or optimizing their resources. Correct. And then finally, they don't have capacity, project management capacity. So many places ULBs have been given capital grants and they have not been able to utilize the capital grant. So they have received the money, but they have not been able to utilize it because they have less capacity, project management and administrative capacity, because of the lack of staff, professional staff, autonomy, all those. So in all, municipal bodies have less resources, but whatever resources they have having, they are not optimizing. They are not able to use the resources which they receive in many cases. They don't have credit worthiness. The credit rating shows that only 36 cities got A grade and 127 cities got B grade, but Indian investors do not invest in B grade bonds. So whatever bonds 17 cities have issued, all those cities got AA credit rating, then only they were able to issue the bonds. So going to the market is not easy. Market As I said, it's a private investment. They look about your creditworthiness, your performance. PPP is not happening at the municipal body level. Municipal bodies have land, but they are not able to utilize land as a resource and develop the thing. So these are the issues associated with our municipal system. So I will stop here and we will go for now this your question answers.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful presentation and a session. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and expertise on municipal finance and local governance. Now, I would like to open the floor for a Q&A session. Participants can either use the raise their hand feature or type their questions in the Q&A box or the chat box.
Sir, hello, sir.
Yeah.
You mentioned that municipalities also raise funds from the World Bank. Do we have any examples of those municipalities in India?
Yeah. Very recently, last year, Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation has raised loan from the World Bank of 2,100 crore. It's a 3,000 crore Suez project. And then there are other cities which are seeking. Bangalore is seeking around 2,000 crore for its lake renovation and stormwater drain to overcome the flooding problem. So there are municipal bodies which are raising from the World Bank.
Okay, sir. And I wanted to understand that how could we have a balanced approach between the capital and the revenue aspects, considering that the own source revenues of municipalities is limited. And I believe there is a reason for it because they have to also do welfare-based expenditures, which do not get any revenue for the municipalities.
No, the solution is that giving more powers and more resources to the municipal body, but at the same time, equally making municipal bodies efficient, creating the financial accountability and specific rules so that they optimize that, whatever resources. The only solution is to increase the own source revenue. Any government has to increase its revenue. Municipal bodies have little bit problem that they have less autonomy, and less resources in their hand. But at the same time, they are equally responsible for not using whatever resources they have fully because of the professional capacity and because of lack of developmental accountability and all that. But all these need to be put into correct mode. Then they will have more own source revenue. Then they will have a revenue surplus naturally, and that revenue surplus can be then utilized for the capital, because even for going for the borrowing you require a revenue surplus, then only you will get the loan, correct?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
loan or borrowing or municipal bonds is a financing option, but for that funding option has to be developed, and that is the own source revenue or giving them more grants.
Sir, but you also mentioned that grants have limited utilization in context to municipalities due to limited administrative and project management capacities. So,
So
in that,
yes, so they have to know. See, for that, then you will have to, the state governments will have to give them autonomy to hire professional people. At the same time, carrying out capacity building, staffing them with the adequate professional qualified project management people. See, so you need to increase overall efficiency in all aspects: efficiency in revenue mobilization, efficiency in service delivery, and efficiency in the project management. Service delivery means actually delivering the service. We find problem in water not coming properly, cleaning not done properly. So both the aspects are there. One is a service development or project capital development or urban infrastructure development, and second is a delivery of the service, qualitative delivery of the service. All that requires capacity. All that requires right kind of staff, right kind of a capacity building, right kind of a power, correct? and financial backing that will come through raising the resources.
Sir, do you have any inputs on augmenting the revenue resources for municipalities?
No, first they should go whatever they can do in their power. As I said, they are equally responsible. They are inefficient. Many cities, my own experience, I am working with them, but I don't want to name the city. But I have shown to the cities that without increasing tax, by increasing their efficiency, they can double their revenue. There are even some cities can increase it by 4 times because there is a huge inefficiency. Many factors are there, but that inefficiency is not acceptable. So the right way first to start is to optimize yourself, raise the revenue, improve quality of the service. We use that improved revenue to deliver better quality of the service and better development to the citizens. Then you will be able to charge more. This is for overcoming internal. At the same time, state governments and central governments will have to give more powers to them, more freedom to them, more autonomy, and more resources also.
Sir, and in context to sustainable development, I wanted to just understand there is a disparity, or as you showed, that there is a skewed presence of the municipal collection of municipal taxes or revenues in context to the states across India. So I wanted to understand that those states which are not developed, for example, Rajasthan, in they are not up to the mark of the list of states that you mentioned. So if those states were to add on build capacities or raise more resources, what could they do? Like, I believe that innovation is a way out, because even if we were to develop infrastructure, it would take a lot of time, and that is a constant activity which is any which ways done by the state and the governments and the urban local bodies. But if there were capacity building centers which allowed for more space for innovation for newer technologies, it would help raise more revenues for the local municipalities in developing states. I just want to understand that why the skewness has not been balanced out, or how can we do that?
See, there one skewedness is historical. One is that percentage or rate of urbanization. The cities which are having less the states which are having less urbanization, naturally there is a less appreciation in the state policy for the urban development because they have other pressing needs, correct? For example, Orissa, UP, Bihar, Rajasthan, they have urbanization at 20% or 25%, while Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Maharashtra are close to the 50% now in urbanization, Kerala. So naturally their political economy works also, no? Also historically, you will see the municipal institutions were highly developed in Gujarat and Maharashtra, were more empowered right from the beginning. Even urbanization was high right from the for whole century. It was high. So that is the one thing which is at a policy making level, state level. But then states has to see urban as a future, and other states need to take more cognizance and learn from the best practices of not from foreign countries but within India, how other urbanized states are managing it and how urbanization can be harnessed for state development. When that approach comes, because across the world, if you will see all developed countries, there is a correlation between the urbanization and economic development. Higher the urbanization, higher will be the economic development. Medium the urban. So look at the across world. All the countries which are developed countries, they have more than around 80% urbanization. All developing countries like India have urbanization around 40%. And all least developed countries of the world have urbanization around 20%. Same thing you will find if you look into India. You will find these this same trend in Indian states, developed states, developing states, and we won't call underdeveloped states. So 3 types of states you will find, and you will find correlation with the urbanization.
Sir, but urbanization also takes a toll on the environmental aspect, and I was just trying to understand in context to sustainable development. So, in that context, the urbanization it leads to economic development, but it always has to go hand in hand with the sustainable environments.
You are right, but that whole world problem is facing, no? Why climate issue has arisen? Because urbanization brings economic development at the same time in environmental issues, pollution, congestion, and all that. But still, then many countries are managing that, because then you have to have urban planning that way. You have to sustain. See, in our cities, we find in development, all lakes get filled up. We haven't protected our lakes. We are not protecting our greens. Correct. So sustainable development need to be balanced along with that. It can coexist. Take my word. Yes, urbanization has a negative impact in terms of environmental sustainability. But if you take and that is what now today world is advocating. Even now, when any infrastructure is thought, first you think from climate adaptation and mitigation point, what impact it will cause. So once you will start looking at that environmental impact and social impact of any development, any project, and mitigate it, you have only solution. Not to have urbanization is not possible. Urbanization very natural tendency.
No, sir, I
Whole
didn't
world
mean
has.
that.
Oh
Yes,
no.
urbanization is
So
necessary.
this is something with which you have to deal. Correct. And therefore, your first question, every policymaker or every officer should offer that, okay, I am constructing this. What would be the impact? How I can save environment? How? So many cases now cities are becoming aware about it. For example, now we are thinking of a net zero. So Ahmedabad has done nice things. See, you need to construct a sewage treatment plant to treat the water, because that is from point of environmental sustainability. But then sewage treatment plant would require electricity to run it. Now electricity in India is fossil based, correct? So you will require more electricity for running the water treatment plant, for running the sewage treatment plant, or to run waste to energy plant to take care of the solid waste. Now what could be the solution? So Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation has set up a solar farm generating equivalent electricity which it gives to the Gujarat Electricity Board. Correct. So that is called net zero concept. Or they have taken windmills. They have set up windmills in a public-private partnership in Kutch area, and then they generate electricity through non-conventional measures, not through the fossil fuel, that is through the wind and solar energy, and give that much electricity back to the Gujarat Electricity Board. So Gujarat Electricity Board don't have to produce electricity through coal. So this is the approach we will have to, this is the approach whole world is talking
Understood,
of
sir.
how to do the climate adaptation and mitigation. And this is the sustainable development. Because you have to install sewage treatment plant, because if you don't install sewage treatment plant, wastewater won't get treated. That will, you have to run the transport. Now we are going for e-buses, but still e-buses will reduce the pollution, but not the complete net zero, because electricity utilized to charge e-buses, if it is coming from fossil fuel, then same thing, you have just converted, instead of using the diesel or petrol, you have gone to the electricity which is produced by using the diesel or the crude oil or the gas.
Understood.
So the day electricity buses, still that technology is not perfect, but the days electricity buses get charged with the solar power, means their charging stations start running with the solar power, that will be net zero. And then we will get the both benefit or 3 benefits. We need transport, public transport. That transport need to be pollution free, and that transport should be sustainable, not adding to the climate change.
Yes,
Got
sir.
my point?
Yes, sir. Understood.
So these are not exclusive. They can live together, but you have to have innovation. You have to have, now it involves extra cost.
Yes, sir. Understood,
9
sir.
to 20, 9 to 27% would be the extra cost required to take care of the climate aspect for a normal urban infrastructure. So if you are spending 1 rupee, if you bring climate aspect or climate action into it, the cost could go to the 1.27.
Understood, sir.
Okay. There was a one by Minu Mohan. What is- Yes, we see, for that real problem is that in India we do not have bottom up pressure. Our civil societies, citizens, they are not putting pressure on the local government for transparency, for efficiency, or for accountability. So the day we will start asking for that, that will create, see, municipal bodies are inefficient, or state not providing, as I said, powers to them, or whatever are the reasons, all those reasons can be brought to the notice, can be discussed, but they don't come into paper, they don't get discussed. There is no agitation for that. Agitation means not coming on the street, but people demanding it. So I absolutely agree that civic responsibility and bottom up pressure. Why in other developed countries? Because the citizens are very vocal. Citizens take government to the task. Correct. At the same time, citizens are ready to pay right price. We don't want to pay taxes. We don't want to pay right price. As soon as our water is so cheap, if I have to tell them municipal bodies are charging, we purchase 1 liter bottle on railway station because that's a subsidized at 15 rupees, railway needs. Outside 1 liter bottle for 20 rupees. In India, all municipal bodies supply you 1 liter water at 10 paisa maximum. That is the highest rate. Even 10 paisa doesn't exist. They supply you 1 liter water at 5 paisa. But if any municipal body think of doubling the water charges, there will be hue and cry. And I don't drink outside water, Bisleri kind of a thing on and often. We all use municipal water in our house. Except some circumstances, municipal body water are good for the health, potable.
Thank you.
So
We have
civic awareness is not there. Yeah, and responsibility is also not there. Okay, so we should stop or what?
So
Are
we
there
have
questions?
another question from Parvati ji. They have raised their hand. Could you please?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
So on the last note that you mentioned that where our people are not ready to pay higher amount for the quality of service that the ULBs provide, I just have a question between the difference between developed and developing countries. So in the way you're saying, would you suggest that there should be more money that people should put into the economy so that there are more quality services that come in when we compare it to developed countries and developing countries? And if you say so, when we compare, say, different state like Kerala or Bihar, and if the citizens of these two states are capable of pushing in that kind of money into the economy to bring in development, so do you think that's a major challenge to how our country is developing?
No, they are. It is, see, it's a policy decision of state level not to charge. I have studied Bihar municipal bodies and all that. Tell me, on a main road of the Bihar, property isn't equal to the any other city, barring Delhi, Bombay. The rates of the real estate across the India, they are.
I have
Salary of a bank manager staying in Pune and salary of a bank manager staying in Patna or say Ranchi isn't same.
yes.
A Honda City showroom having a showroom in the Pune or Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Surat, and all other cities, doesn't they do same business? Doesn't they have big showrooms?
They do.
but they pay 1/10 or 1/20th of the property tax compared to the Mumbai, Maharashtra, Ahmedabad, and other places. It's a political decision, not charging. So money is there. Means same Bank of Baroda or same any bank or any public office. I'm not talking of poor people. Correct. Don't charge them. But there is an astronomical difference between the taxes to be paid by and are they giving much more money in other form to the government? No.
Okay.
So just only they correct this thing. I had many places suggested that whatever are the public and private corporate sector buildings, tax them across the India similarly almost. Means I won't say tax them like a Bombay, correct? But if Patna is of 3 million cities, then its rates could be equivalent to the another 2 million, 3 million city.
But sir, on that note, if say a municipal building is to be taxed more, means whoever is occupying has to pay higher tax for the business that they're running. But if their goods are not preferred for the higher rates that they would also eventually start selling. So isn't it a chain reaction where if people inadvertently are not ready to pay?
I'm not. How can change reaction happen? Suppose a showroom in Pune of any car maker, correct, is paying 10 lakh rupees tax. And in other cities of India where property tax is not properly levied, paying 1 lakh. Now, if I make that 10 lakh rupees in that city, will they not be able to sell the car or will they increase price on that car? Chain reaction will happen if you will increase the tax on the poor people, small business people, correct? Because then economy is totally different in other places. But why a XYZ bank pays separate, much higher, 10 times, 20 times higher property tax in one city of India and pays much less? I can agree if the real estate value is less, if the area is less, if the quality of the building is less, correct?
Yes.
So there is a money, but our taxation and rating structure is wrong. Nowhere I am saying that increase taxes on the poor people. Water. And always remember in finance, a cost not paid by one person or not charged to one group or this has to be paid by somebody else. In the world, cost doesn't go. Cost cannot be
Understood.
wiped out, correct?
Yes, yes.
It has to be paid by the state government. For example, the municipal bodies which are not earning adequately, they are not bankrupt. So there, then state government has to give much more money, correct, to that municipal body to bridge its deficit, correct? For example, a particular city is earning 80% from its own source revenue, and in another city it is earning 20%. So 80% has to come, but then they will come less. So in that city, quality of the urban infrastructure will be low. Naturally, that city will not be preferred. Today, we go and stay in Indian cities not by preference. We go and stay because we got job over there. Given the chance, in which city you will stay? Will you go in a city where the poor infrastructure is there?
No chance.
Given the chance, you won't go.
Yes, yes, yes.
Even within the city, you will not stay in an area where you don't want to. But
yes,
you
right.
being, I can have that liberty at a retired stage that, okay, I have some money, I can choose of that. But all young people, working class people have to be in the city and in the area where they have job.
Yes, agreed, sir.
So by default, you will have to be there even if the quality is not good. So you will pay in terms of quality.
Okay, I understood, sir.
Okay. Okay, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Most
So
of the
just a
people.
formal vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time and for patiently answering all the questions by the participants. It was pleasure learning from you. We hope to collaborate with you in the future IMPRI events as well. With this, we come to the end of today's session. As we come to the end of day 9 of UPLGYF, Urban Policy and Local Governance Youth Fellowship, an online national autumn and winter school program, a 4-month online immersive introductory leadership certificate training fellowship program, I, Avi Sharma, researcher at IMPRI, Impact and Policy Research Institute, would like to propose the formal vote of thanks on behalf of IMPRI New Delhi. We are grateful for our experts for the session of day 9 session, Dr. Ravikant Joshi ji, for taking out their valuable time and allowing us to learn from this online certificate program. We thank all our participants who have raised pertinent questions and actively participated in today's celebration. We look forward to welcoming you all on December 5th for day 10th of the certification course by distinguished experts Dr. Deepak Sananji and Ms. Isha Kundariji. We are grateful if you're watching us later on YouTube or listening to us on our various podcasts or reading our publications. We hope you continue to join us in the future of our IMPRI Web Policy Talk and Web Policy Learning. Wishing you all a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.